Hey, me again. I'm here to share a little bit more, another reading from this book called Where is the Hope? And I wrote this book back in the 1990s, and it was a time and a season where I just felt like many people lived as though they had no hope, or they were looking for hope, but they were looking for it in all the wrong places. So I'll tell a story in the introduction that sort of sets that up. And then every chapter in essence, looks at an attribute of God and talks about that He is our only hope. And that's where we need to be looking for hope in such a dark and decaying world. So today I'm going to read a little bit, chapter 6, and it is called Unforgettable. Unforgettable. And the subtitle, in case you're wondering, is The God You Shouldn't Forget. So let's dive in and see what we can learn today. It's so easy for us to forget what others have done for us. We often forget what our parents have provided for us, what friends have done for us. It's easy to forget all the blessings we've received as a result of these things. Even sadder is the fact that we often forget what God has done for us. Make a list of some of the things God has done for you. Go ahead. Make a list. No doubt your list is full of things that should be classified in a file as unforgettable. How could we forget the depths of His love for us? How could we forget that God became flesh and was crucified on a cross for us? How could we forget that He defeated death as He arose from the tomb? How could we forget all that He's done for us? We're not the only ones who sometimes forget what God's done for us. Remember the children of Israel? By the way, they majored in this, and sometimes so do we. Or at least I know I do. The Old Testament is full of stories of how short their memories were at times. One needs only to mention the complaining and murmuring of the Israelites after God delivered them from Egyptian bondage to be reminded of this. God has always wanted to make sure that His people will not forget what He has done for them. In fact, regarding the children of Israel, God has Moses remind them of this. Notice how Moses puts it as he talks to them while they were preparing to enter the promised land. By the way, this is from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 10 through 12. When the Lord your God brings you into the land He swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you a land with large, flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with all kinds of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves you did not plant. Then, when you eat and are satisfied, be careful that you do not forget the Lord, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. Moses tells them all of the things the Lord will provide them with: nice land, thriving cities, houses with all the best appliances, well-groomed gardens. I find it interesting to note that Moses talked to them as if they were children. Indeed, in many ways, they were pretty childish. Notice how well he put it. Flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with all kinds of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, vineyards and olive groves you did not plant. His message cannot be misunderstood. God would bless them extravagantly, not by their own doing, but by His. He would do the providing. That in and of itself should be incentive enough to remember someone, yet they would forget him. Let's not make the same mistake. So I encourage you, as you think back over what God has done for you, don't ever forget it. We too are preparing to enter the promised land, and as we live the kingdom life, we need to always be mindful of what God has done for us. He is indeed unforgettable. Okay, so that's chapter 6 from Where is the Hope? And as we close out this time today, I would just say to you, this is a good time. This is a good time of the year, Thanksgiving month, to maybe begin, if you don't already do this, a gratitude journal, or just open up a note in your iPhone. And maybe every morning when you're drinking that first cup of coffee, or you're having your daily devotional time or quiet time, or maybe it's a loud time for you, whatever it is with God, to just, before you do anything else, share 5 to 7 things that you are grateful for and start your day there. Because we have a God who is so amazing. He is so unforgettable. But yet at times, I often forget just how good He is. I hope today that this has been helpful for you. And I'm going to keep doing these. Maybe they're helpful, maybe they're not. But tomorrow or the next day, whichever day I post, is chapter 7, and it is titled Nobody Knew. Nobody Knew. I haven't read that chapter in a long time, so I don't even remember what it's about, but I'm looking forward to diving into it with you tomorrow. Hope you have a great Saturday and a great weekend. Take care.